AudioEyes LLC. A film strip becomes a waveform. Words slide in, turning pictures into words.
The skyline of Los Angeles, the Hollywood sign.
Rick Finklestein was raised just north of this Hollywood studio, where he now works.
Universal Studios.
This is where I grew up, in the Valley. Van Nuys, not far from here. Life revolved around sports. Played baseball from the time I was about 8, and football in high school.
Catching a football.
That love of sports became a fascination with snow skiing.
Well, I actually moved to Colorado in order to learn how to ski. I just sold everything that I couldn't take with me, and I moved out to Colorado.
Living in Denver, commuting to the mountains wasn't cutting it for this would-be ski bum, so Rick moved to Aspen.
I have a lot of friends in Aspen, having lived there twice, going as far back as 1972.
Rick skiing moguls. Still photos of Rick behind a bar and skiers at the base of a hill.
Rick was hooked on skiing. Aspen became his go-to resort, and he built up a loyal posse of ski friends.
Hey, Tex.
Howdy, partner.
Rick in a cowboy hat.
What's your name? Where's your horse, man?
Meanwhile, his career progressed as an executive at Universal Pictures.
I've been here for about a dozen years, although the first job I ever had was at Universal when I was in high school.
He went through law school, became an attorney, then found his way into the Hollywood studio system.
In his office, Rick uses a tablet.
He served on the original board of directors for the Sundance Channel, as well as the Motion Picture Association of America.
Photos of Rick with Tom Cruise, Jeff Bridges.
Rick now serves as vice chairman at Universal Pictures, overseeing business operations for more than a decade.
So I've sort of come full circle to be back here on the line.
With Universal Pictures Chairman Ron Meyer, Michael J. Fox, Home Entertainment Executive Craig Kornblau.
In 2004, he planned a trip to Aspen. It was a celebration of beating cancer and a chance to get in shape for a big ski trip to Canada.
In 2003, I had throat cancer, and I was just at the point where I felt I was recovering from that. I was going to go heli-skiing up in Canada. And so I went to Aspen the end of December to try to get a few turns in before that so I wouldn't embarrass myself, because it was the first time I was going with this particular group.
When I first met Rick, there was an immediate connection because skiing does that for people. It's just
Jeff Burkus.
It's just such a big part of your life, and we, as I said, made a connection that night and then planned to go skiing.
Weather conditions report.
December 29th, 2004, I was skiing with a friend of mine, Jeff Burkus, and we took a run. I went off around Kleenex Corner.
I looked over like this, he looked at me, and the next second he was gone.
Went off the cliff and hit a tree.
He's conscious and breathing. A&O ×4. He has no feeling in legs. Definitely gonna need a rig.
We came down this one run. I mean, that was it. So it was pretty wild for that to be the only run I ever skied with him.
I lost my focus for a minute, and that's all it took. But at the end of the day, I take full responsibility for what happened.
The accident log.
This is the tree right down here. He actually cleared all of this and hit the tree first down there. It was one of the most unreal experiences I've ever had skiing because he was just gone.
The pine tree.
When he severed his spine that day, Rick Finklestein joined a group he'd never considered, people living with disabilities. But he vowed the mountain wouldn't have the last say.
Rick moves his power chair to his desk.
There's something about, coming back to the mountain where the mountain seemed to win that round. And at some point, I'd like to win the final round.